see how it goes. Yeah, like you're saying, we'll work on that, whatever the situation is.
Issues, yeah.
On the issues on Facebook Live, and let us know on the Facebook Live. By the way, you're listening to ESPN 1170 AM. You can listen to us on the app, on ESPN1170am.com, and on Facebook Live as soon as we get the volume going.
What was the biggest surprise to you from yesterday?
The Bills.
Bills?
Hey, they knocked me out of Survivor.
Oh, that's right.
Big time. So we had 30 people left. 14 took the Cowboys. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Only 2 or 3 were on the Bills. And the majority of the rest were still alive. Were on Colts, Ravens, and Dolphins, all who won.
Uh-huh.
So they knocked out 20 out of 30 people.
Yeah.
So just like that, 6-3 is the loss that they had. It was or 6-9. Yeah, 6-9, and just absolutely terrible. I mean, horrible effort out there. Josh Allen looked terrible. I mean, how often do you get to see that Josh Allen sacks Josh Allen, and then also Josh Allen gets an interception on Josh Allen? Like it just.
They did not let that go at all yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and he had a fumble recovery too. So, and nobody saw this coming at all. Like, by the way, obviously I didn't.
Uh-huh.
But like they even had a special on before that was like, there's the Bills defense, and they have this guy on, and Micah Hyde. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Micah Hyde's on here, and like, look how exciting this is. Like, yeah, the Bills, and even when they're down, like, I think it was like 6-3. I'm like, this is no big deal. I'm watching the Cowboys, thinking 14 people are getting knocked out, and what do you know? It gets to that, like, So I don't know where to start. I want to I'm in a better mood about the Buffalo thing just because I know I was on the right side. I will tell you this: if my regret is that I didn't follow my pattern on Survivor, and that was always non-divisional home game, and this was a divisional game, and it was on the road. Not a divisional game, sorry, but it was on the road. And realistically, I should have taken the Colts on Thursday night. But, I can't do it. I was on the right side. Bills kind of came through. I mean, they crapped the bed. They cost people money all over. And then the Cowboys just didn't show up at all.
You know what also happened? Josh Allen didn't break the streak. The Manning cast.
Mother of God. You are correct.
Didn't break the streak. I thought about that. I thought about that more than their Survivor thing, which sucks for the Survivor thing. Like, it's not even about the money, really. It's about just now you not participating.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll still give out what I think the good one is, the good picks are, but I just gotta let it go.
Our team's gonna stop letting their quarterbacks and players go on this Manning cast.
Maybe. So, do we know if they're on tonight, the Manning cast?
No, they're taking the week off.
Okay.
Which sucks because I really wanted to hear Manning just rip apart Matt Nagy all night.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted that, and I was hoping that would lead to a firing. But from what I heard, I'm pretty sure they're taking the week off.
Just a side note, because we like to speculate what's going to be on Manning cast, and then we also did who's going to be the celebrity guest picker because they were at the University of Cincinnati.
Oh, Nick!
How did we not get Nick Lachey?
Yeah,
I saw it, and I was like, that makes so much sense to me. I was like,
from Ohio. I forgot that.
It wasn't even like, oh, Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees. I was like in my living room, like, of course.
Are they from Cincinnati too?
Oh yeah,
they are.
Yeah,
I knew they were from Ohio. I wasn't sure.
I was just like, oh, that makes all the sense to me. Why did we not see that one coming? So, yeah, we'll look at all the things going down here in NFL because it was absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, more top 25 teams lost in college football. In the second hour, we've got Guess the Lines here.
Purdue just making a statement. When you get ranked in the top 5, you're going to lose to Purdue.
I know. And where were we at on this? Either someone else did it, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Spoiler makers.
Spoiler makers.
That makes sense to me.
Breaking hearts.
Mm-hmm. That's all they do, I guess. You come in the top 5, and you
then they lose to Illinois the next week.
Sure, they will. Yeah. So, yeah, just so crazy. Yeah, I hate that the Survivor thing happened. The Dallas. I can't believe 14 teams were on Dallas, and I just can't believe it went that way. So, it's bitter, but gosh, just a crazy weekend. I can't wait to look at all the games that we did there. Real quick though, before we really start breaking them down, Saturday night Iowa game. Is there anything that you liked, you saw?
I mean, it was nice to see him, do something at least. Everybody's been questioning it. Petrus looks like he I'm guessing. Have they made a statement at all about who's going to start this week?
Oh, they're not going to release that.
I figured they wouldn't. It's not really a thing.
No, that was. So obviously, everyone has these conversations, text and whatnot with their buddies, their Iowa fans, and we were on the same one, and they're like, oh, Padilla, and I was like, he's going to say there was an injury, and they're going to say that the quarterback competition is still up for grabs, and they're going to say tomorrow in his press conference, that's usually at 1:00 Central Time, that Petrus is probably his starting quarterback as long as he's healthy. Don't be surprised by that one bit.
I thought the next guy was Deuce.
Deuce is after, yeah, but
he's the third guy.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
okay.
we always. It's just I don't know why, just because number 2 in line, and I think that's the name we remember more than anything over Alex Padilla.
Oh, okay.
But it's just Deuce Hogan. It's just fun to say, a lot better. Padilla looked good. He came in the 4th drive. Let's see, what was it? He didn't have Spencer didn't have a lot. Was he 2 for 4 or 3 for 4 before that? But they just said that he didn't have the zip on the ball. And even Padilla said it too. He's like, you could tell in warm-ups. But I guess he practiced fine all week long.
Yeah.
And then in warm-ups, they just said they could see it in it. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It was Ferentz that said he didn't have the zip. It wasn't Padilla. Padilla never made a comment like that at all. Ferentz said, like, during warm-ups, we could see that he just didn't have a zip on the ball. But Padilla did see increased reps with the first teams.
This week he did?
Yeah.
Last week he did.
So he found out, and he found out during the 3rd drive that, hey, you're going in. And then he let him on a drive right away to score a touchdown. So
why do I feel like the playbook even opened up a little bit, too? Do you think it felt like it was just, which we see constantly, run, is that because of the zip,
Yeah, I don't know. I can't put too much into it, how it was. I mean, everyone was excited to see something different.
I get, you got half the bar cheering about a first down,
Yeah.
Something had to happen. I did not know that there was an injury involved in this.
Well, he had heard it in the 4th quarter the previous week in the Wisconsin game. So, and then they just kind of hush. But do not get too upset when the beat writers come out of the press conference with nothing more than we're looking at Spencer as number 1 going into the week, depending on how his health is. I will be shocked if KF just turns around and is like, yep, we're going to go with Padilla from here on out. And I don't understand that at all. Like,
why he won't?
Yeah, why it's okay to people lose their jobs,
It happens all the time.
Yeah, well, it was no one lost their mind when Keith Duncan got replaced as a kicker or whatever else for a while, and they brought in they had the other guy. But I guess it's just a kicker quarterback situation. I guess you want to stay married to it to keep his spirits up and everything else. But some of the highlights there: Tyler Goodson rushed 21 times for 141 yards. That was his 7th career 100-yard game. Goodson has been Iowa's leading rusher for 12 straight games, the longest streak by a Hawkeye since Sean Green. Sean Green led Iowa in all rushing yards in 13 straight games in 2008. Goodson has 2,154 career rushing yards now. That puts him 13th all-time in program history. He passed Dennis Mosley and Jordan Kanzeri on Iowa's all-time career rushing list on Saturday. Goodson's 13-yard rush in the first quarter was his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, the first since Week 3 versus Kent State. He had gone 94 carries without a touchdown, the longest stretch of his career. Arlen Bruce scored his first career rushing touchdown, and that was his 2nd career rushing attempt when he scored in the 2nd quarter. That was a 10-yard run. Keegan Johnson had a career-high 5 receptions. Like we said about Padilla, came in the 4th quarter. He finished the game with career highs, obviously, in yards. With 172 completions and attempts. He was 18 of 28 for 172 yards. Yeah, defense looked good again. We've got a 1:00 game against Minnesota. So
is it at 1:00?
I think so. Or is that no? Illinois is 1:00. I'm sorry, yeah. Illinois is 1:00. Yeah. Illinois is the 1:00 game. November 20th is 1:00. So that will be.
Wait, Illinois, a big win this weekend as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good win. So this weekend it's Minnesota. And actually, from what I got here, did they announce the kickoff time?
For this week?
Yeah.
2:30.
Okay. From when I have from the SID, I haven't gotten anything yet. But
gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's it was I mean, I didn't suggest betting the spread.
Yeah.
And that didn't come through. So it was just boring game.
Yeah,
That's
there was
all.
not really anything to really.
I mean, the only thing
I feel
that
like.
took out of it was the protesters that came out there for a little bit.
What you know what the sign said?
It was something to do with.
Did it say "Let's go, Brandon"?
No, it didn't.
I
No,
figured
it was
that's what
something to
it
do
was
with like
saying.
protesting like political treatment in some other country,
Did you
third
see the
world country.
Hawkeye fan run through it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then Caker, by the way, it's on Twitter, and I didn't do anything out there. I didn't. I meant to go on Facebook and tag him or whatever else. But Caker's trying to find the guy who did that. I'm sure he wants to do something for Hawkeye Report.
Yeah.
So I hope he finds him.
Yeah.
The guy that went
It's
on
all
there.
over the internet, so I feel like they're gonna find him.
I'm sure they can find him or whatever. He's a Hawkeye fan. I'm sure he wants to be on Hawkeye Report. Everybody got escorted from the stadium, from what I understand. No one got arrested or anything.
Is told to leave.
Yeah, did you see the video of the guy? After he goes out there and rips it, and then he like starts to go down, he basically runs to the tunnel, and there's just people like pointing him, and like, go that way.
Yeah. See ya.
No, those nerds don't want to get in any fisticuffs with anybody. They're like, just keep running as long as you're getting out.
You gotta leave now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was about all we got out of that. Again,
Yeah, it felt like the game was never gonna end. It was just like, oh, is this still on? No, like
it really did.
Can I watch something else?
Can you imagine being there at that game?
No, man. Nobody was there at that game.
I
Did you
know.
see how empty
Yeah.
the stands were? It was. I think I had some people in the bar, and they were Hawkeye fans. They weren't the biggest ones. They're like, "Can we play music now?" And I'm just like, "Yeah."
Yep. You know what? You most definitely can.
Get this off.
Yeah. So, and then, well, then we have Sunday, and we have Sunday to talk about as well. But we do have tonight's game. I'm not telling you which way to bet either way. I can't understand anything. Here's what I want to look at when we look at some of the games, and then later on. Honestly, and we're going to throw Ruggs out of the way. Who had the worst week? And we're going to look at each one of them. Who had the worst week? And this is not a best of
Worst week?
Yeah.
Worst week of analysis.
Who had the worst week, and and then my answer to that is, and we'll do all this and more. But if I said who had the worst week, was it Aaron Rodgers, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills,
Niners,
Kyle Shanahan,
Yeah.
and Cincinnati Bengals?
Okay.
All right, now you can throw Josh Allen in there and Joe Burrows, but in the Rams.
Yeah.
And you can throw Matt Stafford. So if we're doing the Niners, we're throwing in Shanahan, who's now at a 444 winning percentage. Puts him right around like Sam Wycheck or
You
whatever
see
else.
Mike Singletary has a better winning percentage than him now?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? That was
this
on,
genius who loves these power sweeps. So we got Aaron Rodgers and Packers because Jordan Love didn't look like it.
Yeah.
So everyone's got to be married to a name here, I guess.
And Rodgers just sitting there. Where was Rodgers watching that game? Was he on the? He couldn't have been on the sideline. Where was
No,
he
he's
at?
not there.
He's just at home,
Doing microwaving,
twiddling his fingers. And
microwaving pebbles and putting him on his spine, telling him he's going to raise his antibodies. So Packers, they're just going to go all in general. They don't have any name married to it. Bills, Rams, 49ers, and Cincinnati Bengals. They're 6. And who's going to say, well, hold on a second. This week isn't over. Is it going to be Fields and the Bears or Roethlisberger and the Steelers? That's what we need to figure out as well. Because I think someone's going to be
Who
like,
needs to add to that list?
yeah, like, hey, let's not. We still have a Monday Night Football game tonight that we can screw up too. So let's just not go into it just being like, hey, these 6 people did it. I'm pretty sure that, Chicago and Steelers might have a say in that, but we hope not. What are you going to do for the game tonight?
Oh, be at the tap. Get the buddies together. I don't know. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like things are trending in the wrong direction after losing to the Niners. I thought we were going to win a game last week while we're on a 3-game losing streak.
Oof.
4 does not sound fun.
Yeah, Niners are going to have bad. Yeah, their Niners are definitely going to be up there on having a bad week. All right, let's take that break, and we'll be right back, and then we're going to look at all the games, and then we're going to break down who had the worst week out of those 6 and how it's possible that the Big Ben and the Steelers or Fields and the Bears could take that top prize when we look at the Monday Night Football game. And in the second hour, we'll do Guess the Lines. We'll be right back here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us, we're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip.
We are the twins from Arbar Davenport, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM. This is Len Casper, the voice of the Chicago White Sox. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170.
Over the past few years, people in the Quad Cities have been buying online more and more. Now, since the pandemic hit, online sales have absolutely skyrocketed. Having an online presence was important before, but now it's an outright necessity. But don't worry, MyLocalCustomers.com is here to help. All you need to do is go to MyLocalCustomers.com to receive a free competitive analysis to see what Town Square Media can do for you. We'll help you find more local customers online and help grow your business faster. Town Square offers premium website services that get you new leads every day, plus a dedicated marketing specialist who will work with you the whole time, so you don't have to mess with updating a website. It's fast and easy with no contracts, so you can cancel at any time. Be one of the first to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on ESPN 1170 AM. As a business owner, you know how hard it is to get people to cross a bridge to get to your business. These days, they don't need to. Find your customers and keep your customers. Go to MyLocalCustomers.com.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, Black Friday.
I've been training for it all year.
Like a marathon?
Pretty much. The deals are here, so I made my list.
Checked it twice?
Yep. And mapped out the best gifts, like sneakers for my husband, toys for my kids, a cozy throw for my sister.
And for me?
Not telling. There's even an extra 15% off, and you can get Kohl's cash.
So you'll go back for more.
I've taught you so well.
Select styles. Select deals valid through November 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Before I started using Dawn Platinum, I avoided actual dishes. I even ate my cereal in a paper cup. But with Platinum, cleanup is so darn easy. It removes up to 99% of tough grease faster. Dawn Platinum makes cleanup
so darn easy.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. It was a Sunday filled with surprises. The Titans took care of the Rams 28-16. Matthew Stafford threw 2 picks and was sacked 5 times. The Bills were upset by the Jags 9-6. Josh Allen, the quarterback, was sacked and picked off by Josh Allen, the linebacker. The Cowboys couldn't handle the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater hit Tim Patrick with a 44-yard score in a 30-16 win. The Raiders fell to the Giants 23-16. Derek Carr threw 2 interceptions to Xavier McKinney. Next up for the Raiders is a meeting with the Chiefs on Sunday night. The Bengals lost to the Browns thanks to 137 yards on the ground by Nick Chubb and 2 TD passes from Baker Mayfield. Browns win it 41-16. The Falcons kicked a last-second field goal to beat the Saints 27-25. Matt Ryan threw for 345 yards and a pair of scores. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
The sounds of the holidays are in the air. Jingle bells, wrapping paper, maybe some ho-ho-hos. But at the Home Depot, we also love the sounds of you making the holiday magic happen. Things like ovens baking, turkeys roasting, drinks chilling, air fryers frying, washing machines washing, and your family in the middle of it all. Right now, it's the best time to save on the appliances you need to make the holidays yours. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
It's not pumpkin spice season. It's football season. All the NFL stars talk right here on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Live here in the Hassel Castle. It's Monday, November 8th, 2021, 12:23 past the hour. Adrian's in the studio with me. We are still trying to unpack exactly what happened yesterday. I have no idea. But before we get to that, Friday we talked. I got to tell you about this, buddy. Friday we talked about the allegations against Dave Portnoy.
Yes.
Of Bleacher Report, right? Made a little write-up, all opinion. Hey, I think it's time to stop following this dude. He's just a bad dude. Here's the allegations. Here's the article that you can read. Here's someone who breaks down one of it, and it's a paid. The people, Business Insider's a paid subscription. So there was a guy on YouTube that broke it down for you. So if you don't like to read, you don't want to click the link, you can at least put the thing on the outside of the YouTube and listen to it. All right, listen to the guy's going to tell you all about the article. Well, the right thing to do. It's an opinion piece. I posted 2 clips of Portnoy, and he's explaining his side of it. I listened to him. I understand it. I understand why he's annoyed, and he thinks it's a hit piece. Again, I'm just like, well, whether you like him or not, whether you fall on the side of, like, I don't agree with him, but I think he's funny, there are young ears that do it, and they try to emulate being basically buttholes. And that's where you get your Barstool accounts that all say affiliated with at Barstool, not affiliated with, like, say, such high school. They all say it, all right? I went through, I know I picked on like 3 schools, it seems like that, but I wasn't picking on them. I went through other ones, and there just wasn't anything to post. It would be like, hey, wear red tomorrow at the game, or it would just be like, look at this hype video or something. I went through a lot of schools, at least on Eastern Iowa side, all right? So if Bettendorf, Pleasant Valley, North Scott think I'm picking on them, so be it. You guys have the time to make these memes. What I'm pointing out is that I don't like what you guys are posting. It just seems ridiculous. And again, I'm sure when I was that age, I would have done something dumb too. Seriously. I know that.
A little out of hand is what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to. Yeah, you can see a lot of the posts that I put in there. And I also put in Sarah Spain, ESPN, and I'll get to that in a second. But dear Lord Almighty, hell hath no fury like these dum-dums who love Barstool Sports so much that they're like, nah. It's just like, I'm like reading these comments, and we've talked about this. I don't usually troll for anything like this, all right? I'm not like, oh, let's see how many hits we get. Let's see how many clicks we can get or anything. Like, this is my opinion. I wrote, this is my opinion. At least I let him I put in the thing when he not apologized, but he was like sticking up for himself. So did they read it? Probably not. That's what we talk about. People don't read. I could put someone in there in the middle of it and just be like, yeah, the Pope's coming to the Quad Cities tomorrow. And people, no one would read that. There's some that did, and I'll talk about someone's comment later because I thought they had a really interesting point. So, yeah, people were just like, their allegations and they showed up and they DM'd him first and everything. I'm like, did you read any of the things they're saying, And then my favorite was somebody at had to be after midnight at some point. They probably had enough in them. Just wrote STFU.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just wrote back and wrote back in the morning, and I was like, just a question, did you write this on Sarah Spain's tweet? Sarah Spain's tweet is basically kind of the same thing. And I did, if you go back, and I edited it, I posted it first, and I edited it because I'm like, listen, people aren't going to read this, they're just going to see the headline. But I wrote in my Facebook post, and I just wrote, if you read anything, read Sarah Spain's tweet. Because it's basically what I'm saying. It's like, stop giving this, fanning, giving oxygen to the fire. If you're liking, and you're following, and you're downloading, that's what you're doing. Even if you say, I don't agree with it, you kind of are. And the allegations are pretty severe. Now, here's where we're going to go contrarian. And this is where the smart person comes from. And I will try to find it, who made the comment. He made a great point, and that's what I tried to put on my post too. And I was like, if you want to be contrarian in my opinion, here's your thing. Here's where you go with. Dave Portnoy says it's a hit piece that's 8 months in the making. So he, instead of being in the forefront of it, he doesn't do anything and just doesn't know if it's going to happen. And then it drops on Thursday. The CEO of Business Insider has stock in Penn Gaming, who owns Barstool Sports. The CEO, allegedly, okay? The CEO of Business Insider, who did this article, dumped stocks before the article dropped on Thursday. And stocks did go down on Thursday for Penn Gaming. That is a big no-no.
Yeah, that's
if you
want to
come, if you want to come and be like, blah, this, and this, just come with what this guy said. And it was a really, really good point. And I will give him credit as soon as I can find it. And he even said, he goes, I'm not a big fan of this guy, but this is fishy. And I was like, I said, you are absolutely right. This is the best way to come at it, and this and that. And that's what I was trying. But if I here in the Quad Cities just make a post about my opinion about this situation that is alleged, and there's a handful of people that will be like, no, blah, 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 then all these alleged victims are right to not want to say anything or stay anonymous when they say they're fearful of retaliation by the stoolies, and that's what they're called, or that these videos and photos will be leaked of them. They're right. Just think, all I wrote was an opinion, and I let the guy defend himself in there. And these people are like, no, blah blah blah. Like, it's crazy to me. Mike Sharp is the guy who sent it to me, I believe, about that, and that was the right thing to do. And he's right. If that guy dumped stock, then boy, that's terrible. So, so I think they have every reason to be afraid of not coming forward. So, this is, and unfortunately, and I've gone round and round. Love Maddie to death. I'll probably stop and see her at Happy Hour at Pints after this. She follows Barstool Sports, and she listens to some podcasts, right? And she was just kind of on the same way, like, well, I'm like, yeah, it's alleged, but what about the videos? And we're texting back and forth, and it's not an argument.
Yeah.
So it's two friends talking.
It's a discussion.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I'm like, well, what about the videos? And she's like, oh, they probably knew. And I'm like, no, the two of them say that they didn't know they were being videotaped, and they're worried about it being leaked. And so what about the 2010 incident? In the 2010 incident, and I'm not going to get too into it, but he kind of justifies, like, if you're wearing 6-inch shorts or whatever else, you kind of deserve to be raped type of thing. But then he came out later and said it was all in joke and all in fun. That's the problem, though. That's not a joking thing. And we did kind of mention that last Friday, that we're like, this doesn't fly in 2021.
No, absolutely not.
So
it shouldn't have flown in 2010.
I know. So it's crazy, like, that people will come straight to the defense and be like, no, you know what you're talking about? Maybe they shouldn't have DM'd him. Like, what? What do you mean? That doesn't mean that you invited someone over. And that's what I said to Maddie. I was like, honestly, I haven't dug too deep into this because I don't really want to give the clicks to anybody who wants to get the clicks by putting his name on there, and also for him. But I just said, like, I know about the Trevor Bauer story. I know about, what the Blackhawks situation. And I do know wherever there's smoke, there's probably fire.
Yep.
There's a lot, and Deshaun Watson too. Here. Yeah, a lot of smoke with Deshaun Watson too. Yeah. I'm not saying anything. I just said, like, let's not. I wasn't canceling him. And I did say in that thing, and I clicked the Yahoo link we talked about. I said, this isn't a mob. This isn't, what's the mob thing? The cancel culture and the something mob doesn't, woke mob. So this isn't it. And then I wrote, thanks Aaron Rodgers for, making this a big thing that's going to happen, cancel culture and woke mob. But that's not what I was doing. I wasn't saying, like, oh my God, I'm so offended, I don't need anyone to call me a snowflake. That's not the case at all. I just thought, like, this is a little bit crazy, guys, So, yeah, and then, of course, by the way, and then there's Bradley, who says, what's up, my critical thinking crew? I did use that quite a bit. Never had to use it on my daughter this weekend, but, yeah. I did. I was
you never got the chance with the clean room?
No. But I did get, I wasn't feeling well, and I just kind of had a head and chest cold, so my lungs all the way up. And someone asked me, like, oh, did you get the vid from Aaron? And I just wrote back, no, I'm a critical thinker. That's all. So, and I used it a few other times, but nothing that, yeah. And then, so, it was just weird to post that and just have that many people. And I'm not saying anything at all. I'm not anywhere close to if this happened with these women. But I just thought, like, well, no wonder they're a little worried about what to say or do because these Steely guys. You would think I crucified people's hero. I understand that they're very popular or whatever else, but legitimately, you would think I just brought this guy down. It was just an opinion.
Yeah.
I said, hey, maybe it's just best if we just stop giving eyeballs. It's like that.
This guy attention.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes some of those things stop. Sometimes that behavior. It's like I don't know which one it is. I wish I should know it, but it's like are you familiar? Do you watch The Simpsons at all? Okay, there's a Treehouse of Horrors where like all the billboards come alive, and in the end they're like, if you just don't pay attention to them, they'll go die.
Away.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting
That's
at.
exactly
like,
what they're saying.
Maybe this behavior will go away, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Let's take a look at yesterday. It was absolutely insane. Let's start first with the Bills because that was a terrible output by Josh Allen. What I tell you, he got sacked, interception, fumble by the other Josh Allen, right? The Jaguars close as 15.5-point home underdogs. There have only been 6 larger upsets since 1990. This is not a good look for a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Here are your other teams that there was higher than them, the spread, and they lost. The Bills have a hand, obviously yesterday, so that makes 7, but there's 6 more higher. The Bills have a hand in 3 out of the 6.
That's a little fun.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
not if you're a Bills
the
fan.
highest one was the tie. It's tied at 17.5. 2020, the Rams were the favorite against the Jets. The Jets won 23-20. In 1995, the Cowboys were 17.5-point favorites over the Washington. Then they were the R words. Now they're the Washington football team. They were 17.5. They lost 24-17. In 2018, the Patriots were 17.5 over the Dolphins. They lost 27-24. Now here comes the Bills. 1992, one of their Super Bowl runs, which they lost in. They were 17-point favorites against the Jets. They lost 24-17 at home. In 2018, they were 16.5 points favorites against the Vikings were 16.5-point favorites against the Bills. The Bills won that game 27-6. And also in 1992, again, the Bills were 16-point favorites against the Colts. They lost that game 16-13. And then there you go yesterday, Bills and Jaguars. Awful. Just terrible. So, the Bills just looked like they couldn't do anything on either side of the ball. It's probably going to go down as the worst upset in 2021.
Yeah.
And I can't take the Bills seriously as a Super Bowl contender right now. I just can't.
Is there anybody that you can take seriously right now as a Super Bowl contender?
Great question.
Last week we basically wrote off the Titans with what happened to Derrick Henry.
And they're back.
Everybody in the studio said it.
So let me tell you. Let's take you through the Bills real quick. And you raise a good point. Here's who the Bills have lost to now this year: Steelers, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. 2 of those 3 on the road, okay? They've beaten Miami Dolphins,
okay,
who are currently, now they have 2 wins. They were 1 into that. They've beaten the Washington football team.
2-win team? Maybe
They've
3.
beaten the Houston Texans, who just lost to the Dolphins. They did win at Kansas City.
Who's not Kansas City anymore?
No. And then they beat Miami. That's not an impressive resume.
No, absolutely not.
Not one bit is that an impressive resume.
If things keep going the way they are, the Patriots are going to win that division.
Patriots are now only a game back, right?
I believe so. I have to look it up.
They've got 2 games. They got a Week 13 against New England, and they got a Week 18. At home against New England, Week 18 at New England. In between there, they've got the Jets. That's a get-right game next week, but it's at New York. Look at the line there. That's a get-right game, by the way. Then they're at home against the Colts. Who knows? At New Orleans. Who knows? I told you to watch the Falcons there. That's probably the only money line one I was right on. We'll take a look at it. Then they're, like I said, home against New England. Then they go on the road at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's gonna be looking at Carolina. You're right. They're frauds. Carolina's gonna come in by that time. McCaffrey's gonna be all beat up again. He'll be gone. They'll win that game. At New England, Atlanta, and New York Jets. This schedule is not that hard, but they're not winning the games that they need to win, the important ones. So, Yeah, I can't take the Bills seriously in this situation at all. Ravens won in overtime, and again, that's all Zimmer, buddy.
Minnesota, yeah.
Minnesota doing Minnesota things.
All their losses total combined 18 points, I believe I heard this morning.
Minnesota doing Minnesota things. They got that ball in a turnover in overtime. They had it at their own 38. They ran 3 crap plays and punted. All they really needed to do was move the ball down about 20 to 30 yards and get in field goal range. 3 crap plays if you watch that, and then punted. And let the Ravens back in that game. They were also at in the goal line, and they were up 14-3, I think at the time, 14-7. I can't remember exactly. And ran crap plays down in the red zone, and then they end up going for a field goal instead of going for it like on 4th and goal.
Yeah,
3 points ended up getting them, and that's again
14-point lead second half.
They can still get in and play. The Vikings get in the playoffs as a 7th seed. They can get in at 8 and 9. They can get in at 7 and 10. I don't know. I don't care. Listen, I may have been saying it all year long. Fine, don't fire him. Mike Zimmer will not be. Mark my words, will not be the coach of the Minnesota Vikings next fall.
Absolutely not.
I don't care if they make the playoffs or not. He is not coming back. There's no front office that can justify bringing him back.
They'd have to win the Super Bowl. It's for him to. They'd have to go on.
They'd have to win the Super Bowl.
Some crazy
there you go.
The
I stand corrected. That would be the only thing. So the Browns didn't miss Odell Beckham at all.
Nope. Actually looks a lot better without him.
They just went in there and just put everything on Cincinnati. Nick Chubb went for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns and just 14 carries. Baker threw 2 touchdowns, and Burrows got picked off twice, one for a pick 6. Maybe maybe OBJ put pressure on Baker. I don't know. He looked more relaxed, and maybe his left side is healed. I have no idea.
Yeah, getting healthier a little bit. Get a couple targets that you like to throw into. Got Landry back. That Peoples-Jones, I believe he caught a touchdown.
He did, yeah.
Saved me in a couple fantasy weeks.
Oh, boy. And then Dallas. Broncos go in there. Broncos have an 0-4 record against teams with a winning record in 2021, and they go into Dallas, a team that has covered the spread every time this season.
Yep.
Von Miller's not there, but he was banged up anyway. That's not a big deal. They go into Dallas, and just at one point they're leading the game by 30 points.
Kind of embarrassed them.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Why is Dak still playing in that game in the fourth quarter?
That's a great question.
I know they scored. They scored a couple touchdowns there in the fourth, I believe.
Yeah, it ended up being 30 to 16.
I wasn't sure if there was the last one was late in the third or if they were both in the fourth. Either way, you had Dak Prescott playing, all of that game, coming off of an injury, and I believe they went for 2 at one point, and he ran the ball in or something like that. What are you trying to get him more hurt?
Let's see. He was 19 of 39 for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. Prescott was. Meanwhile, similar pedestrian numbers. Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy covers, Teddy Two Gloves, 19 of 28, 249 yards, 1 touchdown. That's just, they've got the talent. I don't know how you lose that game. I don't. If someone can, I'm sure there's Cowboy fans that probably know a lot more than I do and have a lot better understanding of it. But until then, I just say we blame it on Mike McCarthy. But you did talk about the 2 touchdowns, but going through 3 quarters, he'd only had 79 yards passing. Dak did. So, yeah, you can try to chalk each one of these up to a weird game, but I don't know. It's just a weird week. The Rams, the same way. They're looking at 7.5 going into that game. You have Stafford throw at dumb. I get what he's doing in the end zone when he threw the first pick. He doesn't want to take the safety, but we see that every time. That's what Carson Wentz did against Titans the week before.
How do we get on people like Carson Wentz so hard, and then we let Matt Stafford kind of have a bye there?
Absolutely.
There. He cannot make those mistakes.
Nope. And then he threw a pick 6 right after that. So right away they're down 14-3. And Adrian Peterson scored a touchdown.
Passes somebody for 11 on the all-time list.
Really?
Oh, who did they say it was? Was it?
I don't know.
I don't remember who it was. I'll have to look that up.
And then the afternoon game, The game that I was telling you, this was the marquee game of the week until someone got COVID.
So somebody threw a Halloween party and ruined all of our time.
And so it was the Patrick Mahomes versus Jordan Love show. And these two tried their best to make outdo each other for what a terrible job they can do under center.
They just Patrick Mahomes looks awful. Well, is there a mind game going on with him? Is there something wrong with him? Is his mechanics look bad?
I don't know. They were what was it? I think it was a post-game show, and I don't know who it was, but they had a pretty good line about this where it was like, if you were told me Patrick Mahomes was 20 of 37 for 166 yards and 1 touchdown, they would have said, yeah, that sounds about right for the first half or first quarter.
Yeah.
Like not for the entire game. Mm-hmm. And the Packers were there. The Packers were there. They did cover, obviously. So everybody that were on the Packers, good for them. But they, I don't know, he got to scramble, and he ended up throwing the ball as third and 15, because they got a penalty and scrambled. And out of my mouth, there's 2 different ways. Too much time is like either too much time, like a bad thing's going to happen, or too much time, a pick's going to happen type of thing, or get hit. And I said too much time. He rolled out to his right, and he hit the guy for a first down, and the game was over after that. You kneel on it after that. No cover or anything. They were in field goal territory, no cover, but no, they're not going to do that. Then they go into victory formation. So it's just not fun to watch at all. The other games, New England beat Carolina Panthers 24-6. Mac Jones, very workmanlike, 12 of 18, 139 yards. Barely had to play in the second half if he needed to. Sam Darnold cannot do anything against the Patriots. He's never going to get over I see ghosts out there.
Yeah, he's a backup quarterback in this league.
Yeah, but I mean, against the Patriots, like, he's never going to get there. The other one's Miami, Houston. Tua doesn't play.
Yeah, last second. I can't believe they kept that on their wraps all
Broken
week.
index finger.
Yeah, that was kind of the injury report. I thought we heard about the ribs all week, and when I was reading on my fantasy team, because he was in line to start for me, because I had to replace him for Aaron Rodgers. So he was going to start in a couple leagues for me, and I'm glad I listened there and pulled him last minute. But yeah, I kind of kept under wraps a little bit with that injury. Brissett wins the game. I guess it's against Houston, so I don't know how much you put into that. But
Atlanta goes down to New Orleans and wins 27-25, kick a last-second field goal to win that game. Matt Ryan, 23 of 30, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trevor Siemian, 25 of 41, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. That and the next game are about the only ones I got right on the money line. I liked Atlanta in that situation.
Yeah, I liked Atlanta.
And now
too.
Atlanta is sitting at 4-4. And they might be the 7th seed in the AFC. Atlanta's the 4, but I think they're real close for at the 7th seed.
Yeah, they'd be in there right now. They'd be playing a wild card now against the Packers.
Atlanta Falcons are representing the AFC in a wild card.
NFC.
NFC, sorry, yeah. Well, the NFC, and then there's like all these tiebreakers after that. Yeah, NFC, and then New York Giants won at home against the Raiders, 23-16. Carr was 30 of 46, 296 yards and a touchdown. Chargers going to Philadelphia. I liked Philadelphia in this game.
Okay.
And this game kept going down and down. I think it was a pick by the time it got to kickoff. Chargers win that game. Herbert 32 of 38, 356 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he heard the criticism over the week.
And he took care of business, came out and did it.
And then finally, Colt McCoy, 22 of 26, 249 yards, touchdown. No Hopkins. No Murray, and Arizona goes into San Francisco.
Yep.
I don't think San Francisco can win in that building. They didn't play there last year because of the California thing.
Yep.
It's just not. It's like right now for San Francisco in that building, it's like the Rays playing there or whatever else. There's just fans coming in there, or like the Chargers in LA. Fans are coming from other places, but they're not going in there for San Francisco. They do not look right. The whole Shanahan thing, the criticism getting higher and higher on him, and I mean, rightfully so.
That was a big game to me. Kind of solidified what I think that the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC. I mean, you come in, you're winning with your backup quarterback, who's been in the league for a long time. But not many teams. I know a couple teams did that last week, but not many teams do that, especially when you're going on the road.
Yeah, I mean it's Colt McCoy.
And it's Colt McCoy.
I mean,
number one wide receiver, number one or your starting quarterback. And
well, they lost they lost Chase Edmonds too.
Yep.
And then James Conner comes in and just runs all over him. Like it was they just beat him up. Like it's embarrassing. So I mean, Garoppolo is not your guy. I don't know what you do in this situation anymore. Like it's San Francisco. I know Kittle was on limited snaps. But you
Caught a
can't.
touchdown, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so.
Okay, but you just can't keep saying, "Well, we're beat up." Eventually, you got to get right. So we got to take a break. When we come back, let's take a look and see who had the worst of the weekend, and then we'll do guess the lines right back here. ESPN 1170 AM. I want to remind everyone to join R Bar's Text Club. I understand they had a wonderful evening last night for the Yellowstone premiere that they had, the private party. So if you want to hear about announcements about contests and giveaway promotions like they had about the Yellowstone, go ahead and join R-Bar's Text Club. Text R-Bar to 1-833-302-2216 to sign up. You'll also receive exclusive offers and updates and new recipes and contests, and again, contests and giveaways and more. Or go to textrbar.com, and you can sign up there as well. So join their text club. That's at the R-Bar, our friends, the Twins. And we'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the Twins from R-Bar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
You seek a professional to fix your car, to fix an electrical problem, or roof your house. So don't settle for testosterone-boosting pills when there's professional help to fix your low testosterone symptoms at Limitless Man. Do you suffer no energy, lack of concentration, belly fat, low libido, poor muscle mass? These are signs of low T, and there's an easy fix. Schedule a complimentary consult at limitlessmail.com and get your life back. Insurance accepted.
Chris Canty and Mike Golick Jr.
I also need to know where my camera is because I do need a little bit of advice for a certain friend of ours here that we have seen. Because I enjoyed watching the New York Knicks. I enjoy what they have brought to the table on all this. Evan Fournier is a great addition for this team. We have seen him bring so much to all. I just have to invite my brother in arms here to come down the road I have been on. It's time to come on home. All right? I have been given this advice by people in my life that care enough about me to help. And so that's all I want for everyone else here. Tyler Lockett made that decision this offseason. Out here balling for the Seahawks now. Like, this too can be yours if the price is right. That's all I'm saying. Like,
so, Mike, what you're saying is his jumper ain't the only thing that's fading away.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I want what's best for him. I want him to be able to go out here and thrive and look good in the process.
Canty and Golick Jr. 2 till 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
You get a car, and you get a car. Would you like a car? Well, you get one. We all get cars.
Honey! It's 5 a.m. You just woke up the kids, and likely the neighbors.
Whoops. Sorry, got carried away again. Have you seen the savings this month since we switched insurance?
Jorgensen Insurance. Savings worth singing about. Go on, belt out how much you've saved with us since you've switched. Visit jorgenseninsurance.com.
Don't let the holidays sneak up on you for that hard-to-buy-for person. Let Premier Metal Art customize the perfect gift today. Multi-layered, full-color, powder-coated metal art, plus so much more. Tumblers, fire pits, even holiday decor and keepsakes. Let them customize the perfect gift for the sports fan, first responders, veterans, and family members on your list. Order online at QCPremier.com. Find them on Facebook or stop by their cash and carry location inside of Mattress for Less in Rock Island. Premier Metal Art. Finish your holiday shopping today.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
So Baker Mayfield is a guy who came into this season with probably as much riding on the outcome as anybody. He's in the same draft class as Josh Allen, who's gotten paid. as Lamar Jackson, who is now setting himself up to get paid, like a Mahomesian kind of contract. And Baker is the guy for, I think, all of the right reasons that there was some question. Do you pay him or do you not? And he bet on himself. And if he had a huge year, which he isn't, and if the Browns had a huge year, which they aren't, then he probably stood to make like $150 million. But now what's going to happen? So they've picked up his 5th-year option. This is his 4th year. So he's got one more year. Does he go the Kirk Cousins route? Like, does he try and position himself into a place where he becomes the franchise tag guy?
Greeny, 9 till 11 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Riverstone Group has spent 125 years working to be the best. How would you like to join a local family-owned company with a great work environment? Riverstone Group offers a competitive wage and benefits package including health, dental, and vision plus, insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, and more. Current openings include quarry plant operator, assistant quarry superintendent, local Class B truck driver, electrical engineer, and fabrication shop utility person. To apply, visit riverstonegroup.com and click on careers.
Back by popular demand, Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. You'll hear classic Queen numbers including We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. This show will rock you.
Coming to the Tag Slayer Center March 19th. Tickets are on sale now at the Tag Slayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
Join the conversation. Follow ESPN 1170 AM on Facebook and Twitter. The Quad Cities sports leader is ESPN 1170.
You flat earthers and critical thinkers.
Can you believe it's November outside?
I love it. Went for a jog today. Love it. I think I got 2 more days of this.
Yeah, we had a cornhole tournament yesterday outside, so that was a great day.
People must have had a blast.
Yeah. Fantastic time. It was like we ordered the weather for it.
What'd I tell you? Was it you or I don't know if it was Adam? I'm all for global warming.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
If I had long hair or whatever else, I'd be using aerosol hairspray. Everything, just it doesn't matter. I'm fine with this. I don't care what anyone says. Just get after it. I don't know. Well, someone don't come after me. Don't
get us canceled, Jay.
Don't get us canceled. Yeah, don't come after me now. Like Aaron Rodgers says, the
woke mob.
The right's gonna champion me, and the left's gonna crucify me. Blah blah blah. He's something else, though. I tell you what, I love it. But we're gonna get into that. All right, I'm gonna give you the 6 here. You tell me who. Tell me. Let's rank it. Who had the worst? Who had the worst week here? Okay. And this is in no particular order. Who had the worst week in the NFL? And it's not just. Well, yeah, it's pretty much. I put a name with every team that we had.
Okay.
So that way you kind of like focus on it. The Bills and Josh Allen. All right, there's 1. San Francisco, Mike Shanahan. It's 2. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers. The crazy thing is that
did he really have a bad weekend?
Did he have a bad week?
Did he have a bad weekend or week? Yeah.
But is it kind of like you're rooting for the bad guy? Because I feel like when I laugh about it, I'm rooting for the bad guy. But really, I think he's a prick.
He's just sitting at home and just like, you can't win without me.
But like our guy, the Bob father, I don't really appreciate when he's like, when he puts those quotes on it, and what he's saying. He's like, I stand behind Aaron Rodgers. I think it's good. I'm like, Bob. The guy put the team at risk. He put millions of dollars at risk.
Yeah.
Like the idea that he's not getting they're not getting losing draft picks yet is beyond me. Like they came out and they said there's probably going to be fines.
Oh yeah.
And NFL execs are like, no, not just fines. Like, this is ridiculous. It's BS. Like, they let him walk around. They're going to go through tapes of him for weeks walking around without a mask on and going against protocols. They're going to look into the Halloween party. There was a Halloween party. It was Packers. It wasn't the Bucks, but I liked what we did with that.
Middleton was definitely invited.
Definitely, but he's definitely there no matter what. Now, why would you say that Aaron Rodgers had a bad week? Why do you say he didn't have a bad week? He looks awful. He looks dumb.
I mean, yeah, but he's still, with the Packers losing, you still kind of get to sit there and be like, you can't win without me. And this is still like, I run this show, like nobody else in the Packers really does. I guess more just Sunday.
Sure.
Just in my opinion, Sunday, he didn't have a bad Sunday.
That's where the Packers come in. But
even though they lost, he still had a good day.
I'm just saying, this Dumbo said that he's allergic to two ingredient in the Moderna and the Pfizer. And then the Johnson & Johnson, he said that he was worried about side effects, which
we said death, which we do.
Yeah, and do you know what that is? What? 6 women from the ages of 25 to 48 died from it. He does not fit that demographic.
No, he does not. Did you look that up?
No, it was actually Mina Kimes from ESPN pointed it out. And then he also, and I think he went on to say, like, he wants to have children someday. And he's worried about being sterile. He keeps winning, man. He keeps firing back. He's like, but
a lot of good thoughts.
Yeah, he's a critical thinker. He's like, but what if it made me sterile? And they're like, where did you find that out? He's like, I read an article on Facebook. Actually, I read the headline. Much like how everyone else does. Yeah, because he's a critical thinker, though. They're like, what?
Criticalthinking.com.
That's right. Brought to you by Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be his podcast name when he can't get a job anywhere else. Now, I know that he lost his sponsorship for some hospital in Wisconsin, which means nothing. But he was like the spokesperson because they're like, well, we're a hospital. We kind of deal with science and facts. And he's like, science isn't always right or whatever else. So, but I don't think State Farm's going anywhere. And also on top of it, I don't think Aaron Rodgers cares.
No.
He's like, I don't care. All right, so I got Green Bay there. Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. Dallas. Now, do we blame Dak or Mike McCarthy on this? I think
McCarthy.
Okay, good. And finally, the Rams and Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you the reasons here. The Bills just had one of in the top 7 worst upsets of all time, and probably would be the biggest blunder game of the year. And obviously, I have
shouldn't have went on Manningcast.
Shouldn't have went on Manningcast. Yeah. Josh Allen looked terrible, and you have that whole like Allen to Allen sack, fumble, interception thing. Shanahan, this is supposed to be a genius, right? And where the front office is on this, where they're like, oh, we traded up to 3 and we wanted Mac Jones, but we didn't take him because we like Trey Lance, when we could have just stayed at 12 and we could have traded Jimmy Garoppolo for a second round of the Patriots and we still would have got Mac Jones. Makes you look so dumb in this whole thing. And you can't keep blaming injuries on this stuff. We just did Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay looks so stupid. And Jordan Love did not look good. And Green Bay's like, yeah, we can't win without him. We let him do whatever he wants. Yep. It really is weak.
Yeah, so you guys.
What do you do? You're like, what do
you want us to do?
Yeah.
Want us to keep winning football games? That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, he just wins games for us. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati. I think this is a matter of. I think this, and Brad puts this on the Harrington Post Facebook. Remember when Cincinnati was like, up the top or whatever else? And I'm like, yeah. They were at the top of the AFC. Well, they were I think they would have been number 3 seed or something like that, or 4. It doesn't. They were leading the AFC North. Like, just pressure him. That O line is starting to show wear and tear. Remember when it was like they should have drafted an O lineman, but instead they got Jamal Chase, and they're like, well, Cincinnati's so smart. But I think the wear and tear is getting on the Cincinnati now. The O line, and Burrows is getting pressured, and he's not making the best decisions. And maybe against that game against the Rodgers, when Rodgers told him like, hey, slide or whatever else, maybe he needs to go back to running. And if the pocket collapses, just go for that extra 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards.
You think he's seeing ghosts?
I don't think he's seeing ghosts. I just think he's not making correct decisions, and I think he's not burrowing after those extra yards. The man likes to get hit, and he likes to give hits. Maybe he should use his legs a little bit more and get out of that situation.
I didn't get a chance to catch a lot of that game, but from what I heard, it was just kind of pitiful of what was going on with that offensive line.
The Browns had something weird, like the first ever to have like a run over 60 yards, a reception over 60 yards, and a pick six over 60 yards.
Wow.
Something ever like in NFL history.
It was another fun stat with the pick six. Every team that had a pick six yesterday won.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
All right, Dallas. Did Dallas and Mike McCarthy have one of the worst weeks? They had a bad loss.
They had a bad loss. You think that's just a little bit of a... I felt like at the beginning of that game when, Denver's up 7 and then Denver's up 14, I felt like there was no sense of urgency from the Cowboys. It was kind of like, oh, yeah, we'll get there. We're the Cowboys. We're this good now. It's like, no, you still have to prove to be that good.
There's just no reason for this loss, though. That's the thing. It's I'm sorry, it's inexcusable because you won at Minnesota, and that Cooper Rush did that, but you don't have like a divisional game. You're not sandwiched anywhere. You're home against Denver.
Games for there anymore bye weeks.
I know, but it's still inexcusable. You have to win these games against a team that did not have a victory against a team with a winning record in 2021. It should have been closer than this. Like that, it's inexcusable.
And you definitely can't lose in that fashion.
No, I mean you're down by 30 at one point. You're right now. You're supposed to be the Dallas Cowboys. That just makes me seem like that. That's going to be the game. They're going to look at like what happened here and there. And then finally the Rams and Stafford. Rams are at Houston last week. Then they have Tennessee at home. They go to San Francisco. It can't be a look-ahead game divisional, but it could have been. Could have been. Hey, we weren't prepared for their offensive schemes without Derrick Henry.
Possibly.
But it's really those two picks that were both of them that really did him in there. I mean,
both of them weren't good at all.
No. So it's on Stafford as well. And the worst part about it is the Tennessee Titans did the same thing to Wentz the week before type of thing. So you knew what the defense was going to look like in that red zone. Who had the worst week?
You want my pick?
Yeah, I do.
My pick was the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. And I've been thinking about this all morning about who had the worst week, and I really have been. And the fact that, remember at the beginning of the year we were talking about coaches, like who were the best coaches, and we kind of numbered them off every division. And Kingsbury came up as our worst coach in that division, right? You just got outcoached. You're Kyle Shanahan. You just got outcoached by this guy and Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
That's who beats you this week? Makes me feel awful about the Bears last week losing to this guy.
I like that.
We kind of gave him, I think we talked about it last week, or like a couple weeks ago, how long does he have? And, we kind of just gave him that pass because he was at the Super Bowl a couple years ago. But, he's got to be another guy on a hot seat. You can't be I know I get the division's tough, but you're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender after you just go there 2 years ago,
Yeah, and
that team just does not go away. And yeah, like you said, eventually you got to start getting the next guy up prepared. The injuries do go a long way, but these guys need to be better coached. Get out there and play a little harder.
It's funny because we mention it every year at the beginning of the year, and actually T-Roy brought it up too about Kansas City when we were doing preseason stuff and the Super Bowl hangover of the loss, and that's what San Francisco had going into the COVID year.
Yeah,
and they haven't got it back, and now look at Kansas City, what they're dealing with right now.
And it's like, who were you guys when you got there? It seems like these coaches are having a hard time once people start figuring them out. They're reinventing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like they can do that. It's like they've forgotten how to do that. You've been figured out. Now you've been exposed, and now you are who you are.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think the honorable mention really is going to be the Bills and Josh Allen.
Yeah, when you lose to Jacksonville, it's pretty.
You cannot.
And it wasn't even like the Jacksonville Jaguars played good at all.
No,
I think Trevor Lawrence had like 120 yards passing or something. It could be more than that, but I think it's the last time I seen it. It wasn't good. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a stat.
He had 118 yards. He was 15 of 26 with 0 touchdowns. Yeah, I'm sorry, that just knocks you out. It's serious. I can't take you as serious.
If
Super
Trevor
Bowl
Lawrence
contender.
comes out and he throws like 3 touchdowns, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's completed like 26 passes of 30, and he's having a great game. Yeah, okay.
He got hurt in the second quarter, and C.J. Beathard moved him right down the field too.
Really?
Just fine. Yeah, he was in there. So that just shows that the Bills' defense just wasn't ready for anything like that, and they've beaten up on some weak teams. I don't see it. And same thing with Cincinnati. We bought into something. That line is starting to show that it wear and tear, and Cincinnati's going to fall to the wayside here. Green Bay, they don't. I will go as far as Bills is 2. I can't take anything away from the Titans. That defense played well. So I Bills 2. I will take Cincinnati 3. Stafford 4, Dallas 5, Green Bay 6. I don't have a problem with that loss because like you said, you have that weird Aaron Rodgers. It's is he a villain? Is he a good guy here, or did he win? Did he lose? He's a coin flip, however you look at it, because they lost, and it's obvious. And I don't think there's a person out there that wouldn't look at that game, who watched that game, and wouldn't say like they would have won by 2 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Do you feel like Green Bay is like the place like where a superhero should live too, and then like it's like, but it's a villain. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's like they're like the wholesome little town.
Oh yeah.
And then they have this big villain that they're all controlled by.
Yeah, they don't realize it, and he kind of does. He has control over everything. I mean, he basically just. And that's the next question. And I know it be picked apart, and someone might know on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, but depending on when he first tested positive, he's coming back either Friday or Saturday. Is he playing against Seattle?
I'm not sure about that. We need that to be cleared. You know who is playing in that game?
Who?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russell the Love Muscle's back.
Yep, he got cleared this morning to play against the Packers this week. So we'll have 1B there, 1A yet to come.
All right. Well,
but yeah, if he gets test negative, he's got to be in there. There's
what?
He'll be playing him. I would imagine if Aaron
He's
Rodgers.
got to have 2 negative tests before he can come back, or else, whatever else. And I don't know, like, I don't know. He's probably allergic to the needles that they take or something like that.
Hopefully, he just has COVID for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's what I say too. All right. Well, that being said, let's do guess the line.
Where would we even know how to do this anymore?
Do what?
This guessing the line thing. How do you think Vegas is going to react to this?
Well, Vegas made a lot of money. All those money line parlays that they were making all year long, all the Joes that were getting them on the money lines and everything else. Vegas got it all back this weekend. I trust me on this one. Vegas is fine with what happened.
I like how you said it depleted their accounts.
Absolutely. Vegas is just fine with what happened, and they're going to try to get it back again. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at Week 10, and we're going to guess the lines. I haven't looked at them. Adrian hasn't looked at them, and we're going to see who's closer here. You guys can feel free to guess along with us. You can write it on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. Play along as you listen in your car, at your office, at home, or whatever else. Okay. We're going to start with Thursday night game, Baltimore at Miami. Baltimore off a win. Miami off a win. Miami
Both
off
teams winning this week.
Miami was off the toilet bowl. Both teams had like 1 win or something like that. Yeah. Good job, Miami. Did that. Ravens went to overtime at home against Minnesota Vikings and won. This is a 7:20 kickoff. Thursday Night Football. I just went. I went Baltimore -4.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little high here. Then I feel like I got Baltimore -7.5. Like that's Miami's still a 1-win team. Let's be honest. Like that is a huge asterisk against their second win.
Yeah.
If Jacoby Brissett plays too, I'm guessing he's going to be playing here in the next couple weeks.
I would say that's not what I threw into a factor there, that index, when I first did it, when I opened this up and started writing it down. And you're going to get a star on this. It's Baltimore -7.5.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Vegas has put the hook on here, and they're tempting you to, at least for Elite Sportsbook, they're tempting you to take, well, they're saying the 7.5, but if you take it, you have to pay higher juice at -120, which is interesting. Really interesting. That usually the juice is right, -110 across the board, or and the fact that it's -120 and it's even at -7.5, they're begging you to take, basically even if you bet 100, you win 100. They're begging you to take the Ravens to cover that. So what Vegas is telling you, what Elite Sportsbook is saying, is that 7 is the right number. They're saying 7's the right number here. So 7.5, though, is where it is. You get a star. All right, moving on to Sunday's games. We're going to go Atlanta at Dallas. Atlanta got a win. Dallas got just, I don't know.
Atlanta got a big win, too. That's a divisional win. That's, win, keep their playoff hopes alive. Cordell Patterson. Wow. He led the entire league in receiving this week, I believe.
That's great.
Just good for him, right?
Yeah.
I have Dallas favored here at home. I got Dallas minus 10.
Yeah, he led the league. Cordell Patterson led the league with 126 yards. I went Dallas minus 7. I didn't know if there'd be any type of get back here. And you're going to get this one as well. It is Dallas minus 9.
Really?
Yep. Okay, New Orleans at Tennessee. Boy, is Tennessee for real? New Orleans is Trevor Siemian. Obviously, well, we'll see what New Orleans going to do. They're going to go with Trevor Siemian, and then if they can get Taysom Hill back, maybe they'll make a change. I don't know, but right now we have to agree. We have to understand it's Trevor Siemian. I went Tennessee minus 3.5. I like to put in the hook here, thinking that Vegas could get people to bet on Tennessee with the hook.
I guess I'm way off here. I guess I just kind of see these teams heading in different directions, especially with Trevor Siemian being the starting quarterback there. Tennessee's looked impressive. That's the best team in the AFC. I kind of have an ongoing thing right here. I got Tennessee minus 10 again.
No. They got Tennessee minus 3.
Really?
They must be looking at, like, the Rams just shot themselves in the foot. So, yeah. They must be looking at it that way. Tennessee might say. Then keep an eye on that one, Adrian. If that's what you like, and you look at it,
lot.
Keep a look at that one.
I think that's an easy game now. I don't know. Maybe it's just my confidence in Simeon or Taysom Hill. I don't think Taysom Hill is going to be any answer either. And I feel like this New Orleans team's been playing a lot of close games recently, and it's kind of going to be a letdown here.
Yeah. Jacksonville goes to Indianapolis. This is a divisional game. This is the one that I would have been taking if I was in Survivor, which I'm not. Thanks, Bills. And it would have gone against everything I'm saying when I say I like home teams and non-divisional. But it's a divisional game. I've got Indianapolis only at minus 7.
I am higher than you, and I got a trend going here. I got Indianapolis minus 10.
Yeah, I don't know why I was on this or whatever else. Maybe, Colts having 10 days rest. Jacksonville, I probably should have gone higher because seeing what Jacksonville did against Seattle and Geno Smith. And I think that line was only like 7 at the time.
Uh-huh.
And Vegas agrees with you. This is 10.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cleveland at New England. Cleveland looked impressive against Cincinnati, but the week before they were terrible against the Steelers. New England just workmanlike beats up on Carolina, and New England's got a good squad. And so does Cleveland, I guess. Maybe it's addition by subtraction by getting rid of OBJ.
Yeah. I think New England, I've been saying it for the last couple weeks. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they have a very good chance of having a decent run in the playoffs.
Winning the division.
Especially with nobody seeming like they want to win football games anymore.
Mm-hmm.
New England just keeps doing it in a Bill Belichick way. And what I've seen in my lifetime, Bill Belichick likes to win football games. So I got New England minus 3.5 here.
I have New England minus 3. I'm only going to get this because I'm closer. It's New England minus 1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
So are they saying that the gamblers don't believe in New England? And they believe in Cleveland's resurgence, the addition by subtraction? I don't know. I like New England in this situation, actually. I know I was against them, and I was on the Carolina last week, but maybe all those free agent signings that they did are starting to gel at the right time, and they're going to put a second half season thing there, and that's what I need to keep an eye on for New England. All right, the Bills at the Jets. Obviously, I'm frustrated with the Bills. This is a divisional game. Jets at home. Jets, is it going to be Mike White? Is it going to be Josh Johnson?
It will not be Zach Wilson.
It will not be Zach Wilson. I took the Bills at -7.5, and I'm crazy.
Man, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So that means I've got to be sitting somewhere pretty good here.
Yeah.
I have twice as many as you do.
Sure.
I have Buffalo -14 here.
Yep. It's Buffalo -13, actually. I'm done, so I just kind of threw it on there. I just don't see. I don't know. I guess they just played a bad team and it was on the road. But this is on the road.
I don't really know if I like that number right now with the Jets
do not
doing
like
what they're
that
doing,
line.
especially 10 days off.
Yeah, I do not like that line.
That one's different to me. And the more I think about that game, I feel like I'm too high with what I guess. I should have been closer to 10.
These lines, I tell you. Detroit at Pittsburgh. It's the Lions. I kind of thought what Pittsburgh had was what is it now, 7 tonight against the Bears? I think it opened up at 6.
Yeah.
I kind of put it around there. I don't know if Detroit is that much different than the Bears, so I just opened up at 6.5.
I mean, obviously, still some questions to be asked about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Lions. I got them at 8.
Yep, you get this one as well.
What was it?
It is Steelers minus. Where'd it go? There, the Steelers -9.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't think. I thought it'd be 7.5 max.
Yeah.
And just because the game hasn't played tonight, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe I'm so gun shy about everything that I'm just like lower on a lot of things. You're right around there and higher every time you're nailing it. Tampa Bay goes to the Washington football team. Both off buys. By the way, Chicago, the Bengals, Giants, and Houston all have buys this week. So Tampa Bay on the road. It's not that. I mean, NFC game, but non-divisional. I just took Tampa Bay -7. 7 kind of feels like the new -3 type of thing for me. So I took 7. Sometimes I like to put a hook on there. What do you have?
I'm higher.
Okay.
I'm at 12.
We're gonna split this because it's 9.5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought it would definitely be at least 10.
Yeah, we split that. I think once you get to double digits home, I think they're worrying about the sharp money coming in at 10 double digits. I will tell you this, that the Jets will be bet on by the sharps there that many points.
Yeah, I think maybe even Washington too. Washington's had a couple close games the last few weeks against the Packers and the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a pretty high number, 9.5.
Carolina goes to Arizona. We don't know about Hopkins or Kyler Murray, right? We know of. I mean, sure, it could be, but Carolina at Arizona. I've got Arizona -8.
I'm just below you where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters here. Like I said, and I do not like Carolina. I think they should just sit out Christian McCaffrey for the rest of the year. Call it quits.
Maybe.
Pack it in. Put Sam. I don't know. Figure out some. Start tanking.
Yeah.
Start tanking all the way and try to get yourself a quarterback. I got Arizona -7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to get this just on the other end. They're actually up Arizona -10.
Oh, nice.
And let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is a game you take Carolina. I'm sorry. I know you're not going to like that. You take the points. Yeah, San Francisco. This is a sandwich game. We talked about this last week. They're divisional games, San Francisco, and then they're at Seattle week 11.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Carolina's going to do anything, but, hey, we're just going to survive this.
Yeah, 10 points, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go on. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We'll finish Guess the Lines here for Week 10 here on ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We are local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that?
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Everyone, let's go!
Casey's new Share Pack has a whole lot of good. A large Casey's pizza, cheesy breadsticks, and a delicious brookie dessert, all made to share for just $19.99. Because good things are better shared. Like good stories.
Cookies were in my pocket the whole time.
Good games.
Yeah!
And especially good food.
Hey, save some for me.
Introducing the new Casey's Share Pack. A large single-topping pizza, cheesy breadsticks, and a brookie dessert, all for just $19.99. Ask for the Casey's Share Pack or order in the app. Casey's, here for good.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey team, we landed the contract!
Kayo's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week?
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
We need front end, back end, a project manager.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What if you could find gifts inspired by stories instead of stuff? At QVC and HSN, you can. Like perhaps there was this 4-year-old sous chef, Sue to his grandma Maud, who concocted the best cottage pie. And later, when sous chef became master chef, Maud became his first restaurant and the inspiration for the Curtis Stone collection. And imagine the stories a pan from that collection can spark when gifted to just the right chef. QVC and HSN. This is shopping brought to life.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
There's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic or synthetic high mileage motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $36.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport, a town square media station.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. It was a Sunday filled with surprises. The Titans took care of the Rams 28-16. Matthew Stafford threw 2 picks and was sacked 5 times. The Bills were upset by the Jags 9-6. Josh Allen, the quarterback, was sacked and picked off by Josh Allen, the linebacker. The Cowboys couldn't handle the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater hit Tim Patrick with a 44-yard score in a 30-16 win. The Raiders fell to the Giants 23-16. Derek Carr threw 2 interceptions to Xavier McKinney. Next up for the Raiders is a meeting with the Chiefs on Sunday night. The Bengals lost to the Browns thanks to 137 yards on the ground by Nick Chubb and 2 TD passes from Baker Mayfield. Browns win it 41-16. The Falcons kicked a last-second field goal to beat the Saints 27-25. Matt Ryan threw for 345 yards and a pair of scores. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
The sounds of the holidays are in the air. Jingle bells, wrapping paper, maybe some ho-ho-hos. But at the Home Depot, we also love the sounds of you making the holiday magic happen. Things like ovens baking, turkeys roasting, drinks chilling, air fryers frying, washing machines washing, and your family in the middle of it all. Right now, it's the best time to save on the appliances you need to make the holidays yours. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you. by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
Back live here in the Hassle Castle on ESPN 1170 AM. You listen to Don't Hassle Your Local. Adrian and I are in the midst of a battle here for Guess the Lines when it comes to Week 10. And, Adrian, where are we at right now?
We are at 5-4. I'm up 1, but I have a star, so it's kind of like I'm up 2, I feel like.
Yeah, that's always the thing. If it comes down to a tie, that the stars usually kind of like, it's more of a bragging rights thing, but we've always flirted with that would be a tiebreaker. The only one we split was Tampa Bay at Washington.
Yep.
I've been consistently low on majority of these games. And I think maybe it's just all from yesterday, just the PTSD of what happened yesterday and just the purge of people's bank account for gambling and survivor pools. So Week 9 will go down in infamy. And fun thing during the break, Todd Bromelkamp from KGYM, who I go on every Wednesday and talk about gambling lines and trends that are going on. And I got to bring up the Manning curse last week. And he tweeted at me and he said that, continues. And I said, yep, so brutal, whatever. So, yeah, we're I know we're not the first to talk about it, but I'm trying to spread it around to Iowa to more listeners, even up there in the Cedar Rapids area, that like start paying attention to some of these things, like the Manning curse, because those are the type of things that are fun.
Yeah.
And then I hope it's one of those things in 2 weeks that it's brought up by Peyton and them, or even if they just joke around and said we tried to get this person to come on, but they don't want to come on because we have a curse type of thing. So I think that I hopefully they can have fun with that, because that's what those guys do on the Manning cast. Unfortunately, they're not going to be on tonight for the Bears and the Steelers. That sucks. This has been a good night to have Jay Cutler.
Yeah. It would have been a good night to have Jay Cutler.
I know.
Why are they taking breaks? What else are you doing?
I don't know.
Come on, Eli Payton. You ain't doing anything else.
I know. This is what a drug dealer does, all right? Just gives you little doses here and there, and then until you start fiending for more. That's what they know what they're doing. Their agent's like, hey, hold on.
Wait a second.
Let's not book yourself every single Monday night. Let's do a really good job and then take a break off. Yeah. So not a bad idea. All right, we're up to Minnesota at the Chargers. It's a 3:05 kickoff on next Sunday. Vikings off a loss. The best thing I could tell you here is take the Vikings in the first half and then turn around and walk away, and then realize that the Vikings are going to just piss the bed in the second half. But Chargers got themselves back on the road at Philadelphia. I've got the Chargers at -4.5.
You're just a little higher than me. I guess I'm about 2 points off you. I got the Chargers -2.5.
It is the Chargers -2.5.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Hey.
And that line does not make sense to me, because the Chargers are covering that game, by the way, at least by a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Minnesota loses games.
Yeah, that does not make sense to me at all. Minnesota cannot prove to me that they are going to be any good in L.A. whatsoever. They just don't. I'm sorry, they don't. They're just, bet them in the first half, bet against them in the game, bet them in the first half to be leading this game 17-14 at halftime.
Yeah, and then they come and lose.
And they'll do nothing in the second half. It's consistently this way. On the road or at home, it doesn't matter. They do not put together 4 quarters. They do not put together 2 halves. Ugh. Philadelphia goes to Denver.
Who are these teams, Jay?
Yeah, great question. Great question. I got another great question for you.
You got Philadelphia, 1 week putting up 40-some against the Lions. It just is the Lions. Those are still professional athletes across the ball.
Sure.
They looked pretty good against the Chargers, I thought, at some points in the game,
Why am I not seeing a line here for this game?
Because nobody knows who these teams are.
They just said no.
They're just like, I don't really think we're going to do this one.
Real quick, The Athletic, before we get into this, The Athletic is reporting that Spencer Petras is likely out versus Minnesota. Alex Padilla is listed as starting quarterback. He was not listed on the depth chart. So that's per The Athletic. So that holds anything that we were bringing up about that. You can We're talking about what KF will say at his press conference, and don't be surprised if they're both listed as starters or whatnot. Something really dumb that will annoy you is not going to happen anymore. All right, so I need to look up an alternative line, not from our friends from Elite Sportsbook. I need to look up, what's the game again?
We're looking up the
Gotcha.
Broncos
I got
and
it.
the Eagles.
What do you have?
3.5. Denver, -3.5.
Darn it all.
What do you have?
I went high. I must be overreacting. I had Denver at -5. Why do you have Philly at... Why wouldn't Denver be better than Philadelphia?
I do think Denver's a little bit better than Philadelphia. I just think that both these teams were unsure of who they're going to be. Just a couple weeks ago, Denver couldn't move the ball against Washington. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if that goes the other way, this could definitely be Philly's game. Philly can win this game outright, in my opinion, pretty easily. You know, also with Denver coming off a high, you know, beating Dallas like they did, kind of like, it's kind of almost like they just won the Super Bowl a little bit. Like, we just beat Dallas, you know, when Dallas was 7-1, and everybody thought we were giving up, and we traded Von Miller, and we come out and win, and you party a little hard, you know, in Dallas, you know.
Yeah, but that Von Miller thing, that was in the making. Like the Rams, the Rams in Denver have been working that trade for a while. I guess the crazy thing was
everybody was calling for Vic's job there too, and then
I'm still him. Anyway, they thought so. After Denver gets to win against the Washington football team, the Rams thought the deal was dead in the water, and the Rams had gone back. Let's see, the story that I heard, the Rams had gone back after beating Houston on the flight, and they're like, well, they had lost, like they didn't have good Wi-Fi, and they're just like, well, we're not going to get them. They're beating when they landed the Washington football team. And the Rams were like, no, we're in. And the Denver feels confident, who was ever stepping in for Von Miller, that no, we can make this trade and we can make it happen. So, but yeah, big win. There's nothing. And what did you have Denver at?
-3.5.
They have a bye after this. They can just beat up, and Denver looks like they might be somewhere in the AFC West or in the, I don't know. I was, again, I went high and I was off. So you get it. All right, Seattle at Green Bay.
What was it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you?
No.
I'm an idiot. Wait, did I have to look it up? What'd you guess?
3.5. Denver. Yeah, you had to look it up.
Okay, I think it's just, yeah. It is -2.5 Denver. So,
I just don't think they really know who Philadelphia is. I mean, they could have easily won that game against the Chargers yesterday, a couple points. They couldn't make a couple last stops.
We're going to have to, I mean, honestly, the only thing we can do is sit and wait on this one, because we're going to have to, I'm not finding Seattle and Green Bay anywhere. And rightfully so.
I don't either. And I think I have, everything changes here in my line once, where are you at in your line? Let's just start right there.
I went without Aaron Rodgers.
You went without, you said you didn't think Aaron Rodgers was going to play.
I had to go with right now, yeah.
I thought Aaron Rodgers would play, and I didn't think Russell Wilson would when I made my line.
What did you have then?
I had Green Bay -10.
That I would have probably,
if Aaron Rodgers
I would have had Green Bay probably around 7.5, and without him, I had him as a pick.
Yeah.
So,
which a very well might be once Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers both.
What a weird week we're in, that we just we can't even get a line right now. I mean, I understand it, but it's just so strange that it's like that's how much he's just going to affect everything. And I know Russell Wilson does too, but I mean, he just affects everything about this line. Kansas City at Las Vegas. This is a divisional game, and I don't know what to expect. Las Vegas, I've allowed Kansas City with a very boring win and two very boring wins in a row, back to back. I just took Las Vegas at -3.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to do here. I don't like the way the Vegas is trending, especially after losing to the Giants this week. I don't know. I want to imagine that Vegas doesn't have Kansas City not favored here, but I don't. I have Vegas -2.
We split it. It's -2.5.
Is it?
Yep. You definitely, and you win the week, that's for certain.
Part of me really thought that they were going to end up having Kansas City favored in that game.
Yeah. And then Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco. I just got done telling you, I don't know what San Francisco is at that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. All the reports are, they had WrestleMania there not too long ago. It's off somewhere just off of Silicon Valley. There's no real neighborhoods around or anything like that. It takes about an hour to get there. That's why people don't really deal with it. San Francisco just doesn't pack in San Francisco 49er fans there. And right now, people are going to stop giving the excuses if you're a fan like they're hurt. They're going to... So, divisional game, I still believe in the Rams, but not too much.
Okay.
But I have them favored on the road.
How much?
-3.5.
I'm higher than you. I got LA Rams -6.5.
I had to go and look at an alternate line. Our friends from Late Sportsbook don't have it up. They've got the Rams at -4. So at least I get to end on a high note, I guess. I don't know.
It was only, 7-5?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Bears, the Bengals, the Giants, and the Texans are all on bye this week. Let's take a look at these games. What is the game of the week? Monday night's going to be... I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing the San Francisco 49er thing. It's going to be a good game. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm tired of it's San Francisco. I've seen enough of San Francisco to be like, I don't care. Rams should cover that game if the Rams are who they think they are. What is the game of the week?
I like two games. My first game of the week is Cleveland at New England.
Yeah,
you got the
good call.
Belichick, I think that's the most important game. What is that? Belichick's old team.
Yeah, we get that story.
Get
That's
that
fun.
out there. New England, kind of trending upward. Cleveland kind of, all right, is this who they're going to be now? We expected it to be this way. Also, that Seattle Green Bay game. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers both play. That's going to be fantastic because it's going to be a little bit of fun.
Oh, my God. How many throwbacks are going to be to the scab referee game or whatever else, just to add something to it because they're going to try to stop talking about the COVID. Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear about his finger anymore.
Yeah, NFL is going to be like, let's temper this a little bit.
So those are
Let's
my
see
two favorite games of the week. Obviously, the one I really want to bet right now is Tennessee. That bet might go in real soon.
Yeah.
3.5, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sorry.
3 or 3. Tennessee's beating
3.
up on people. Both sides of the ball. It doesn't look like the whole Derrick Henry is going to be hurting them too much. I mean, obviously, it's going to affect them eventually. I just think we're seeing these teams heading in different directions.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to be a back-to-back home games. I like that a lot. And
it's
the
not
next
like, it's
week they
not
have
much
Houston
travel
the next
for New
week.
Orleans.
So
Don't get me wrong. It's not like New Orleans moving across the country here.
Mm-hmm.
Just up a little bit, and so quick trip.
Yeah. I agree with those. That I don't think we don't see. I'm trying to look over here. There's no storylines like we had the 5 Super Bowl matchups that we had this week. Just trying to see if there's any quarterback matchups. It's like, oh, it's going to be a type of gunslinging thing. There's not anything really intriguing this week as far as matchups go. It's going to make a very boring Sunday. You have a noon game that afternoon, ones you talked about. Kansas City at Las Vegas. If you're an AFC West fan, if you're a Kansas City fan, a Las Vegas Raiders fan, that's big for you because they always seem to bring it to each other in those games. But other than that, I mean, this is a real snoozer of a week. All right, whatever.
I'm really trying to look around for something that. Well, if Mike White plays.
Or if Josh Johnson plays, who knows?
Buffalo and the Mike White New York Jets could.
Well, you just want to see if the Bills can come back and do what you expect them to do. And
that's another game too. I think I'm betting right away too. The Jets. I like that line where it's at.
You like taking the points there?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I care who plays right now. 14's just a lot.
Divisional game on the road, it's a lot. And the Jets have the 10 days off.
The Minnesota Chargers game could be sneaky good just because of Minnesota's in every game. And eventually Zimmer has that win where he gets his...
I feel bad for Minnesota Viking fans that they have to watch that every week. I'm serious. Like, I know this is like a weekly pick on Mike Zimmer week, and I don't care. I honestly feel like... And I sent a message to somebody I know that has, like, their father's a Vikings fan. I'm like, hey, big fan of the Vikings today. You know, just letting them know, like, some money here and there. I like where they're at. And just got done. I'm like, how do you watch this every week?
Yeah.
Like, how... It's
kind of like being a Hawkeye fan.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe this is maybe Minnesotans and Iowans should just get together and go bowling or something, like, instead of, like, trying to fight. I know it's Florida Rosedale week and everything else. And that's always an interesting story too. And I've talked about that every year about the Minnesota Gophers and Iowa Hawkeye rivalry and why Minnesota fans chant, who hates Iowa, we hate Iowa. It's beyond me. But I just don't know how you can watch this team week in and week out. And on top of it, like, the idea that maybe they could sneak into the wild card. Like, why would you even waste your Sunday watching that playoff game or Saturday, whatever it's going to be?
It's brutal. It does not make you feel good at all.
No.
I did last year.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to find the bad good team. When I say that, I mean there's a bad team that's going to get in there. So looking at the playoffs now, situation. Arizona remains your number 1 seed. Packers are the 2. Buccaneers are 3. Cowboys at 6 and 2 are the 4. Then your wild card are the Rams, the Saints, and the Falcons. Falcons at 4 and 4. Here's your 4 and 5 or 3 and 5 teams. Carolina Panthers, Minnesota Vikings are at 9. Seahawks are at 10. Somehow the 49ers are there. Please spare me over this. Like, when can we write off the 49ers?
They wrote off.
You think so?
Yeah, I think this is it.
When the Rams beat them?
Yeah.
Then they go at Jacksonville, home against Minnesota. Minnesota's traveling back and forth. Where's Minnesota at? Let me see this. That's not going to be good. Pay attention to that. Minnesota's at Baltimore. Then they're at... Minnesota goes at Baltimore, at next week at the Chargers. Then they have Green Bay. Then they fly back to San Francisco. I know it's not that far, but that's a lot of away games and a lot of traveling. Anyway, I know I'm bouncing back and forth. San Francisco gets beat up at Seattle week 13. San Francisco gets beat up at Cincinnati week 14. Cincinnati gets beat up by Tennessee at Tennessee on week 16. I mean, not Cincinnati. Sorry, San Francisco. San Francisco gets beat up at Tennessee on week 16. And they get beat up by the Rams on week 18. Yeah, that's 4 losses I'm telling you right now that are going to happen. They're not winning on the road. They're not winning at Seattle, so that means... Yeah, they can beat Jacksonville, and they have to win this week. This is their must-win here.
Yeah.
Somehow Shanahan will still have his job.
I just saw something.
Okay.
I have at the halfway point of the season right here. This would be your wild card weekend matchups.
Okay.
Patriots at Ravens.
Okay.
Steelers at Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders at the Bills. The Falcons at the Packers.
Jeez. Yeah.
Saints at the Bucks. Rams at Cowboys, and the Cardinals and Titans would have the byes.
Yeah, I tell you what.
That first round matchup around Rams and Cowboys would be a lot of fun.
If you're the Cowboys, you better get in the gear.
You don't want that.
You do not want to be that 4 seed if they're the 5.
To be dead honest, do you want to play the Saints? Do the Buccaneers ever want to play the Saints again?
No.
That'd be their 3rd matchup of the year.
No, you do not want to do that either. Mm-mm. No. Let's see, the NFC now.
Ravens kind of need to turn it on, too. The Patriots is one team I don't want to face.
I wouldn't want to either.
Bill Belichick in the playoffs. Ravens have seen that before.
Raiders and Bills. As much as I can't stand the Bills right now. Yeah. Now, what is this I'm looking at? What is the strength of schedule? I need to look at like versus or whatever else. But yeah, the NFC one is filled with intriguing storylines first in the wild card weekend. Yeah, if you're the Cowboys, you got to get out of there.
Uh-huh.
And if you're the Packers, you don't want to be slipping down either to 4. So Packers are 7-2, Buccaneers 6-2, and Cowboys 6-2. Rams sitting at 7-2, but they're not leading the division because the Cardinals are, of course. Yeah, and looking at quick standings here, Bills lead that by a game over the New England Patriots. Patriots are 4-0 away from Foxborough. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a rookie quarterback is 4-0.
What are they? Are they 4-4 right now?
They're 5-4.
5-4 right now. My fault.
Nobody else is undefeated away. Wait, I'm sorry, take that back. Arizona and the Rams are both undefeated away from home. Rams have 2 losses at home. That's pretty impressive, though, for a rookie quarterback. That means you do not want to see them in the playoffs because they do not care if they're
home or away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not really a home when you're, your first year there. A lot of those guys are first year there.
Steelers win tonight. They move to 5-3 if they win. The Ravens are 6-2. That division is still up for grabs right there. All 4 of those teams are going to win that division. Colts are in some serious trouble. Tennessee 7-2. They're 3 games up on the Colts. That South might just happen. They're just willing themselves there. And the West is the West. 5-3, 5-3, Raiders and Chargers. 5-4, 5-4, Kansas City Chiefs and the Broncos. Boy. Cowboys have got a 3.5 game lead up on the Eagles. Eagles are 0-4 at home. Yeah. Packers are fine. They've got 3.5 game lead on the Vikings.
Yep.
Tampa Bay, New Orleans right behind them. Half a game lead. No, full game lead on them. Head-to-head, I think right now Saints would get it. And then the Cardinals have a game lead on the Rams. So that one's all going to come out. So really it just looks like the NFC East and the NFC North are almost halfway through locked up. And the rest of them, not so much. The AFC South. I mean, it's almost time to give it to the Titans, but I don't know if that's the case or not. So, what a weird week, man. I'll remember this for a long time.
Who do you like tonight, Jay? Have you depleted your account?
I have not depleted my account.
Do you have to pull the card out and add some more funds?
No, I have not, but I still feel like I'm licking my wounds over the Survivor and everything else.
I would kind of tell people, too. If they're chasing money, this is not the game to be chasing.
This is not the game to be chasing money at all. No, you stay away from it and just call it a night. Let's see here. The game tonight is, as of right now, Steelers -7, and the over-under is at 40. Ugh. I don't like that.
I know that Matt Nagy said at one point this week that David Montgomery is on track to play tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to. Unfortunately, my phone just died, or I was going to check that, or I was in the process of checking that.
Okay.
But, that's gone. So I don't know how much that factors in, but you do like seeing the Bears getting their starting running back back. I mean, it feels like they should just keep him out tonight with the Bears going on bye next week. But what do I know?
Yeah, absolutely, they should.
And they might. That decision might have already came, and I just haven't been able to see it yet.
By Baltimore at home, at Detroit. I'm just looking at the Bears schedule. It's not a very easy schedule going forward. They do at Baltimore at home, then at Detroit. But then they have to do Arizona at home, at Green Bay, Minnesota at home, at Seattle, not an easy place to win. New York Giants come to them, fine, at Minnesota.
Probably won't lose a game.
Probably not. And the next thing you know, they'll be the 7th seed, and we'll be like, what the heck just happened here? But that'd be a good story.
One more year.
Yep, of course. That'd be a good story, and I'd love to, I'd love for Fields to, turn it around and look great or whatever else and rush all over him. Let's see. Where are we at here on this? No, I want to say, no sandwich game for Pittsburgh. They're home against Chicago, home against Detroit. 7, though, and I don't know. This is a stay-away game.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the NBA that you've been looking at?
What do I have tonight? I think that, tonight, big game for the Bulls.
I love hearing that.
Bulls and Nets tonight in the United Center. So if you're a Chicago fan like I am, get in front of the couple TVs and get your local bartender to put them on for you, side by side, and you can have a fun-filled night.
Bulls -1.5 are favorite at home. 76ers are getting 2 points, but Joel Embiid's got COVID.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he should jump on the Knicks there.
Okay.
Knicks on the road. Timberwolves go to the Memphis Grizzlies. Timberwolves have
they started off so
crash
well.
and burn, Mav. Yeah.
And Ja Morant, I put in what did I put in? I put in like a little bet on him Saturday night. So last night I put a little bet on him to win the MVP.
Oh, cool.
I got good numbers on that. So not exactly sure what I got it on, but I like that bet. He's had phenomenal start to the season.
Well,
sky's the limit with him.
Been a crazy weekend, and like we said, it looks like Padilla will be starting on Saturday against the Gophers. Not on the depth chart is Spencer Petras. And, God, just hold on tight for something crazy to happen tonight. Fields
throws 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing.
Fields over 200 yards passing, Fields over 100 yards rushing.
Ooh.
Bears win.
Yeah, let's go, baby. I
gotta run. I have to run with what's going on. Yeah. The craziest things you've seen.
Over 200, over 100, huh?
Yeah, 200 passing, 100 run on the ground. I'm sorry. At this point, you've got to follow the week trends and just go like, okay, that's it. And so that's what I'm going with. And instead of saying like who lost the week, we're gonna say who won the week, and it was Fields.
Yeah, Chicago Bears.
There's got to be a good story out of this week.
Today's our day.
It's got to be a good story. All right, that's gonna do it for us here at Don't Hassle So Local. We appreciate you guys. Stay safe and sanitize. Quad Cities. Good luck today. Good luck every day. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is WQAD's Matt Randazzo, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Speak about the unspeakable with Limitless Mail and Stop ED. November is National Impotency Awareness Month. If you're not able to maintain an erection, you're not alone. The embarrassment associated with ED can stop a man from getting help. Limitless Mail has proven results and intends to remove the stigma associated with ED. We encourage you to make a complimentary consult with a men's ED